Thank you so much for joining us today. Welcome to Living Limitless. Play your way to freedom. We are joining with you to help you connect, play, and awaken your power, your freedom, and your expansiveness. I'm Andrea Luzon, and I'm really excited to introduce you today to Eugenio Lupine. He is a writer and Reiki master with a background knowledge in medicine. His website, humanfrequencies.com, has diverse categories such as the electromagnetic aspects of the human body and biofield, consciousness, and the presence of Reiki in hospitals around the world, which is something that excites me to no end. So I'm so excited to be here with Eugenio. And I'd love to start off with having Eugenio tell us a bit more about his work. And if as you expand on your work, I'd love to know what inspires you to keep moving forward and to stay in the work. What lights you up? So, Eugenio, please.
Hi, Andrea. Thank you so much. I'm so glad, so very glad to be here. I'm so very grateful. What inspires me? Whatever is not known, discovering things this inspires me because there are so many things that they are yet waiting to be discovered. And this is like a game. So every time you discover some little thing, you read a new thing, there's a new item that you get, a new knowledge or a new experience. And yeah, that is what inspires me. Also sharing that, but that's because I created the website, and I am writing about the science behind electromagnetic aspects of human fields and Reiki biofields, how Reiki is integrating into the hospitals because we don't know how it works, why, but we know it works. So it has been integrating into hospitals despite resistance, which is understandable, from common areas of medicine. But yeah, that inspires me.
Awesome. I was really inspired by an article that you shared recently, where a hospital in England it was a job posting asking for a Reiki master to join their team. And I instantly shared your share because I just really, I want to be one of those people who gets behind that work that as we step into greater awareness about the power of the human biofield, and maybe that's something you can talk about a little bit. But as Western medicine gets behind, and I don't want to say gets behind, but as Western medicine steps more powerfully into becoming aware of the power of the human biofield and in healing, and how the Western medicine and the biofield work can marry together so beautifully. So
Exactly.
what is your interpretation of the word biofield?
My interpretation of the word biofield is it has a lot to do with the quantumness inside ourselves
Mhm.
and consciousness. It has so much to do with consciousness and quantumness. Besides, if we consider that it is for practicality, we can divide it into layers.
Mhm.
From the most physical to the less physical, or the most ethereal, if you can say that. So the most physical link, which is easier to study and understand, is the electromagnetic aspects, because current technology allows us to much pretty understand it, study it, even though it's not so easy, but it's easier than the upper layers. The upper layers are non-classical electromagnetic fields or potential electromagnetic fields. And the next layer is the quantum field, the quantumness, which is also, there are developments. I don't want to make an impression that we don't know anything about it. There are developments. especially with quantum electrodynamics, which is joining quantum world with electromagnetism. And this is amazing because we are getting a lot of information from that. So reading articles about the biofield, there are researchers that think that electromagnetic aspect is not the biofield per se, but just the link and the bridge between the biofield and the physical body. Mhm.
Well, your work is something I'm excited to keep following because I love your excitement about it. I love how deep you want to go with it. And I also see you as, you know, a friend, a cohort, a peer who wants to kind of break it down so that anyone can understand it. You know, even though it sounds like really far out there, you know, the information sometimes feels not attainable, not understandable. But
Mm.
when we get passionate about something, I feel like that it breaks down that barrier and it becomes easier to explain to someone who wants to learn more.
Yeah, I'm really excited to really learn it, read it, study it, and it's not useful if I don't share it. For me, I mean, I wouldn't find it useful if I don't share it. If I keep
Mhm.
it to myself, it will be a waste of all those years that I had studied, all that background in medicine that I have, which enables me to read and comprehend scientific articles. So medical students, medical practitioners, and energy healers
Mhm.
can understand a bit more about it. Hmm.
Yeah, thank you for that. I'm just excited to keep following your work. Love it. In our series, we talk about expansiveness, and to me, what's tied into that is, you know, as we expand, it's because we overcame something. You know, we hit a barrier or we hit a self-imposed limitation, and then we either sank into it and let it overtake us, or else we rise. You know, we examine it, we move through it, and we come to a more expansive level. And so I want to be real and vulnerable in these conversations. And what barriers have you experienced in your life? How did you overcome them? And is there something that you recommend to your clients in regards to when they're coming up against barriers?
Sure. I have three examples of some barriers that I have experienced in my life. The first one was difficult because of the peer pressure and the social pressure about it. It was quitting med school. It was really difficult for me to quit med school,
Mhm,
but it came into a moment in which I had to face that the last year or even couple of years at
mhm,
med school, I lost passion, and I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy there. I knew there was something missing. I didn't know what, but I knew that I was missing something. Me personally, I'm not blaming medicine, or allopathic medicine or um, Western medicine. So, well, it was difficult for me because also my family, my friends were so excited about that. Oh, he's going to become a doctor, he's going to cure lives, and you get an emotional boost every time a patient tells you, oh, you saved my life, and it's amazing, it's such a great feeling.
mhm,
But deep inside there was something missing. So I decided to quit med school, not knowing what would I do with my life. But also at the same time I decided to leave everything behind and find a new experience and a new life in Spain. I was born in Mexico, and I was living there until I was 24 years old. Then I came here, and I live now in Barcelona since 2004, 2005. And yeah, new life in Spain when you are illegal and cannot find every job, it's also a very difficult barrier. So, I mean, I think that you can overcome your barriers easier if you are lacking basic needs. So when you're lacking or in if you're lacking basic needs, then you overcome your ego. Oh, I don't want to work at that. I don't want to have that job. I don't want
Mhm.
to live in that room. Uh, I would like to have this expensive meal,
Mhm.
things like that. So whenever you are on survival mode, I think it's way easier to overcome your barriers, way easier. And when you get into a certain comfortness level, when you are you achieve a comfort zone, I think it's a little bit more difficult to overcome barriers. Yeah. So quitting med school was a barrier that I overcame by being really honest with myself
Mm.
and trying to please myself instead of pleasing others. The expectations, fulfilling the expectations others had in me. The new life in Spain I overcame by having interesting jobs, but not jobs that everybody would do, such as working as a living statue at the Ramblas of Barcelona. It was first time somebody put that into my mind as an idea. I was like, "Are you crazy? How would I work like that? There's no way. There's no way." And then I started doing it. Actually, I started doing in Ibiza, and it went pretty well, and I really liked it. And I also did a little bit of performance theater and
Mhm.
interpretation in high school. Um, I'm a bit of an actor myself. I wouldn't mind being an actor, even though it was not my real passion.
Mhm.
But I love that. So so yeah, it was really cool. And then interacting with people and don't knowing what to expect and improvising and getting a living out of it. And also at the street, it's so raw because you can get so many good and bad moments. You meet very good and bad people. You have everything. You have a whole mix of experiences that you can tell to your friends, and it's like wow, and um, and that's amazing. I'm really glad that I overcame that barrier because I got so many good friends, so many good experiences from there that if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be like I am right now.
Wow.
And the third one, starting my website. You know, it became like something like a very tangible idea 4 or 5 years ago. And I wanted to create a website, but I had no idea.
Question.
So I
Were you
had to
already
study a little bit. Yes.
were you already writing before you started the website? Because I see that you do some writing
No,
now. You don't know. Wow. So
no,
the
no, no,
creation of
no,
the
no, no.
website, so I think I hear you saying that
I was,
the creation of the website launched you into wanting to write more.
yes.
Okay,
Yes,
go
because
ahead.
I was only a curious reader person that, well, went into that stuff. But I thought, okay, maybe not everybody in the world can read this literature, medical literature, and explain it. So that might be a cool thing to do. And now that you have internet, I can reach a lot of people, you know. So there was there was a there was a learning curve that it was steep, because at the beginning I had to learn about WordPress, which is a very useful software, and almost, I don't know if a third part of the internet is WordPress or not, but a lot of percentage of the internet is WordPress. But also SEO, which is making things user-friendly and Google-friendly at the same time. So yeah, I had to learn about that. And then a few months after my website was launched, which was a very premature website in terms of security, well, it got hacked. So it was like, oh my God, a very difficult barrier as well to overcome, because I didn't know what happened, but I had to learn what happened and to make the necessary changes in order to never happen. Um, right now that I'm thinking it in retrospective, it's very good that it happened so soon, because I changed hosting provider, because the hosting provider, when I was in this problem, when I had this problem of the hacking, it was not useful at all. And I learned many things as well to get more security into a website, of course.
Mm-hmm.
So I would
Yes.
say, yeah, those are three barriers that were interesting to overcome.
Wow. I love your willingness to share. And at some point, we might have to put on the screen a picture of you as a living statue because I've seen the photo and it's amazing. Love it.
Okay, let's do it right now if you
All
want.
right, let's see that.
Okay, let's see this. No, wait. It's here. I don't know.
I would also imagine is, oh, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, you can see it on the corner. It's not very, but there, this is
That
me.
is,
I was in the Netherlands in a festival at this moment.
that's amazing. I'm actually really into costuming.
Yeah.
I'll have to share a photo some other time of me as a butterfly with gigantic wings like this. I do have a question. When you're performing as a living statue, do you find that there's an aspect of it that is meditative for you?
Totally, totally. Um, the original living statue was somebody that didn't move at all. That was the art in that moment. Yeah, it was, when I arrived, that was almost lost. I only met one or two guys that were doing that, but people wanted something different back then in 2005. Yeah, it evolved into something else. So people wanted motion
Mhm.
and even fun or laughs. So
Wow.
we all have to adapt to that. But in the beginnings, a real pure living statue didn't blink for hours. It was amazing. I did meditation. Well, I could use some kind of meditation whenever there was this gap in between audience. You know, there's some person, random person throws you a coin, hopefully a note, and then you do something. And that was what was expected from us.
Mhm.
So you do something, blah blah blah, ha ha ha, and well, blah blah blah, not that much, because the also speaking was not very allowed. But there were many people that also talked anyway. There was one Che Guevara that made speeches and speeches and speeches, and well, different stuff also. But in between people, you have nothing. You have to be like quiet, still, and in those moments, yeah, there was a bit of a meditation indeed. Also, another friend who had a more of a professional background regarding performing and status. He also taught me later a very interesting technique in which you are still, but you concentrate on the pinky toe of the right leg, of the right foot. Then you go to the next toe, and from there until the top of your head. I mean, you can take maybe 1 hour or two with that exercise.
Wow,
You
that's
know,
an
it's
amazing
amazing.
technique to help
Uh,
one hold still.
indeed, indeed, it was amazing. And there's a lot of body awareness with that technique as well.
Mhm.
Mm,
So, would you say that play has helped you step into your power, your freedom, and your expansiveness?
definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. I mean, I love video games. I don't do video games right now or since many years ago, but I love the screen when it said welcome to the next level. I mean, that's something that I still carry on with me. And whenever I'm doing something and I do it as a play, and it's like if I overcome a barrier or if I get achieve any item or progress in anything, it's a welcome to the next level. It's another level, another thing. It's a different player with more skills, with more experience.
Mhm.
And play is also dancing, singing, having fun, making jokes. Play is super important. Play is super important indeed. And yes, we lose it as we grow because we are losing that childness inside us. And yeah, if you lose it, you can be a little bit more depressed. I don't want to use the word depressed or boring, but you miss joy. You miss joy.
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
think
we
that
seem to become more rigid as we age. Typically, not everyone.
no, no, fortunately not.
Mm. So, what practices help you stay in an awakened state on a day-to-day basis?
Practices. I think there are two pillars. I'm going to share screen with that because wait a second. These these are the two pillars of well-being, as I say. Mine,
Yeah.
everybody can have their own, and you can exchange Reiki for any other energy healing practice or any other thing. But for me are meditation and Reiki. And if I had to choose only one, I would choose meditation.
Yeah.
Yes, it's the basic one. Is the basic one. But if you add energy healing, which in my case is Reiki, it's a very powerful combination, super powerful combination for awareness, for being calm in very difficult situations, for getting to know you, knowing yourself, for knowing the universe as well, for getting messages. Sometimes,
Mhm.
if you are not into it or in the flow or attuned, you miss signals, messages, and then it's more expensive. Not in the terms of money, but also, but it's more expensive to go through things. So
Wow.
those are my two main practices that I would recommend for starters. Also, food, exercise, healthy habits, mind games, reading, chess, backgammon, memory. I last year I did this Gym Quick memory training course, and it was amazing. It's super interesting and very good. So these things that they tell you 20 words and you can repeat them and in the order that you want. It's like, wow, I can do that now. It's really cool, you know. So keeping the mind active, the body active, but before that, the awareness and the biofield, you can say that active.
Would you there might be some beginners here with us today who have been curious about meditation and haven't explored it yet. Would you be open to share with us how you go about your meditation practice?
Sure, there are many. I've practiced, my Reiki teachers recommend Vipassana, which is really, really cool. And since years, I've been practicing Zen meditation. And there are two types of Zen meditation. The one that I do is the one in which you are looking to well, you're facing towards the wall in a lotus or half lotus position, which is with your legs crossed or half crossed, and then your your hands are like this in this position, in this mudra. And this is quite interesting because your thumbs should be touching enough for a piece of paper to hold, and that's it, but not too much. Just so this part is like the thermometer or the measurement of how aware or good into it you are. Because if you are pushing too much, then you are overdoing it, you are overthinking. But if you separate the thumbs, then you are losing it and you're starting to sleep.
Or your mind is
So
wandering.
yeah, so this is amazing. And it's basic, just basic breathing. That's it. Just focus on your breathing and in your inhale and exhale. And that's it. Don't feel any energy. Don't focus on anything energetic.
Mm-hmm.
That is energy healing. And there are some other meditations like that.
Mm-hmm.
But raw, pure meditation, just Zen meditation, you sit like that. If you are starting, put a timer, 5-10 minutes. Looking at the wall a little bit, like 20 degrees down your stair. So,
yeah,
like this. Eyes open. If you don't like to have the eyes open, close it. This meditation recommends eyes open so you don't fall asleep easy. Because it's easy to fall asleep, and it's okay. You fall asleep. I've fallen asleep so many times. And
question: the title is called Sand Meditation.
Zen, C-E-N.
Oh, Z-E-N, Zen.
Z-E-N,
Like,
C-E-N,
can you
Zen
visualize that?
meditation.
Zen. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure. And that's it. Oh, also you need a cushion. Let me bring it here. Any pillow works, but this is a safu. You sit on here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you sit on here, your body's here, and the knees are on the floor. So it makes like a tripod, which is a very stable structure. For them, the tripod is one of the most stable structures. So that's why in a tripod you can easily have your back very pretty much aligned in the correct position, so you don't drift anywhere else, you know. But a pillow works. You don't need a safu, and that's it. Only inhale. Just focus on that. Just focus on the inhale. Ideas will flow. Ideas will come. They always do. Let them be. Don't fight them. Let them be. If you remember that you are meditating and you know that you are thinking about usual problems, go back to your breathing. Who said it? I don't remember. It was beautiful. I think Teach did not. I always have issues saying his name.
It's not
Teach not
Han.
have. I always have issues. I'm so
Mhm.
sorry, but I think it was him who said that one inhale and one exhale consciously is already a meditation. So yes, don't push yourself too much. Just do one inhale and one exhale consciously, and you're doing it.
I love that.
Hmm.
Mm. Okay, I want to ask you one last question, and
Hmm.
uh, and I'd love your feedback. So we've been talking a bit about resilience, play, being in your power, and in an awakened state. And so I'm wondering, what do you think about? Um, do you think that creativity and resilience are intertwined, and how so, or how not so?
Yeah, I would. I would say yes if necessary, because resilience does not need creativity.
Does not
Resilience
need.
sometimes might be. I think that doesn't. It does not need. Yeah, it might include it, but it's not something that most go in the mix of resilience or in the recipe of resilience, because I think resilience sometimes can be just going further with the same techniques, with the same mindset, and with the same tools. And creativity is something else. Creativity is achieving a different mindset or a different resource or a different tool. And creativity might be useful sometimes when resilience is not being as productive as you would like. So if you are struggling and keep pushing it with the same mindset that you are using since the beginning of your issues, maybe you should start being creative, because traditional resilience that you have been using is not being very effective. So I think that an evolution of normal resilience could be creative resilience. Yes.
Mhm. Yeah,
Mhm.
wonderful.
But you have to realize, I mean, it's not you are not reaching where you want to go, or you are not accomplishing the goals that you want to get, but you are still working on it. So then you have to use creativity.
Mhm.
Hmm.
I hear that. And is there anything that you want to share as we wrap up? Anything that you, if let's say your next client is watching, is there anything you would want to share with him or her?
Yes. I would like to speak about triggers, because there have been some moments in my life in which I have been triggered really hard. And there are three things that have helped me a lot. So the first one is, let me share this 1 second.
Yes, let's talk about triggers because we all have them.
Yes. The first one is on meditation. And this is even simpler than the Zen meditation that I told you about. On meditation, let me put this in a situation better. I was on the onset of a panic attack. It never happened to me, but I was feeling like afraid when there was no real threat.
Mm.
I was just inside somebody's house, and I started feeling really, really afraid, and started hyperventilating. It was a really bad moment. I was like, it never happened to me before. And it was so natural. I didn't know that I was about to do that. but I think somebody took over my body. And for my sake, I started closing my eyes and oh, oh, just doing that, feeling the vibration, feeling the vibration, feeling the vibration. And I got rid of that. I didn't got a real panic attack per se, but I was just like this to get into it. It was really, really insightful. Yes. So on meditation, when you are feeling really, really scared or when there's something not good and you need something really fast to overcome that sense of threat when there is no real danger, I recommend it a lot. Another one, another trigger that I have had. Well, I don't have a life experience for this one, but I use it a lot. Is the Kenjoku, which is also a Reiki technique that I have learned. And Kenjoku is also known as dry bath. Okay, dry bath. So it's just like you are getting rid of anything that is around you that is not serving you. So it's really cool. You start with your right hand. You extend your left arm. Let me actually better like this. So you extend your left arm like this. You put your right hand like this. Do not touch it. Just 5 centimeters, 3 centimeters on top of it. And you do a, okay, so it's
okay, 3 times.
3 times. But every time you do the motion, you do the, no, it's 3 times. It's 1, 2, and 3. And then 90 degrees. There you go. And that is 1 set, and you repeat it 3 times. Okay, so it's 3 times.
Okay.
That is really cool.
I'm loving that.
That is really cool.
A dry
Whenever
bath.
Yes.
Or Kenyoku.
Kenjoku. Or you can also Google dry bath. Even the name dry bath is cool. Yeah. I've always known it as Kenjoku, but before our interview, I was looking for something. And I learned that it's also known as dry bath. So I like it a lot as well. And yeah, sometimes with my friends, when they are not very well, I use some Kenjoku, and that really helps them, or my clients as well.
Yeah, I love that.
There's one more. There's one more, and this is also very important. Any activity that you like or any preferred hobby that you have is, wow, it's really useful. And I also have an experience that I want to share with that. Last year, there was a moment in which I had no job. I lost it because of, we all know who or what. and I lost my job, and I made a bad investment. So the money that was supposed to help me to go through those months was gone. And I was super, super anxious, depressed, angry, everything. So in that moment, for me, I couldn't even meditate because the flow of emotions and thoughts was too strong. So I had to do something with motion, you know. So I love gardening. So I spent the next couple of hours, and it was also natural, like the own meditation. It was also natural. I didn't plan it. I knew that I had to do something, and I started gardening, changing some pots of my plants, putting some fertilizer. I was 2 hours doing gardening, you know, and that helped me a lot. That helped me avoid a potential panic attack or anything like that, or I don't know. It helped me a lot because also gardening is. I've read some place that it helps you to release the electrons. You know, it's also like grounding. Grounding, it's a technique that is pretty much recommended by everyone because it recharges you. You know, you release all your electrons towards the earth, and it's very simple. You only have to put your bare foot in any soil, grass, not in concrete, but soil, grass, beach is good enough, sand, water, and that is grounding. So gardening is very similar to grounding because you are touching soil, you are touching the plants, and you are also releasing electrons to that.
Right.
So those three practices have helped me a lot in my life experience.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wanted to share that.
I'm glad you did. Thank you. And I like how that gives our guests something practical to use in their daily lives. I love that.
Yes, and speaking of that, there's a bonus gift for our viewers as well.
Mhm. Yes,
Mhm.
please share. Please tell us
The,
about that.
so I would like to offer 5 free distance Reiki sessions to the first people that send me an email
Mhm.
requesting it to the address humanfrequencies@gmx.com. And I will be more than glad to start engaging and inform what I will do, how I will do it. And yeah, that will be something really cool to do.
Yes, and thank you. And I will make sure that that is in the body of the information we send to everyone. For sure, that
Cool.
it'll have your email address and that the first 5 people who reach out to you get a session with you, a distance Reiki healing session. So awesome.
Right. Well, if there is somebody who is in Barcelona, we might do something about it if it's
Right.
presence.
Mhm.
If it's but maybe it's not. There's a huge
Right.
probability that it's not. So distance Reiki is just as useful as well.
Yes, and that would bring us back to the quantum discussion that remote healing sessions are
Exactly.
as impactful, if not more. So, on that note, since we have talked about some amazing tools that our guests can use and a giveaway from Eugenio Lupine, at this moment, we will close this session of the Living Limitless series. Play Your Way to Freedom with Andrea Luzon. Thank you so much for being here, and we look forward to seeing you at our next session. Oh.